Morning. Morning, Morning. Morning, everybody. Sorry, I was just muted there for a second. Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me and I'm coming through okay and you can see me. Morning, yes. Morning, Amira. Morning, Darren. Morning, Ash. Morning, James. Morning, Silver. Hope you guys are well. Happy, I was about to say happy Friday, but happy Thursday, I guess. Yeah, I just uploaded a video. If you ever want a nice casual watch, a reaction to morning Nick mate, to my FX lifestyle, which I think was quite funny. It's probably one of my favorite videos I've done so far. So if you do feel like a little laugh, have a watch of that. And I will make Nick. I'll make a little GIF. I don't really know how to do that yet, but I've nested the clip. So I basically clipped it. I need to figure out how to make it a GIF, and maybe we can use it in the chat. Yeah. Right. Let's get into the market, shall we? I'll go into this pound Swiss because this is a pound Swiss trade that I'm currently in. I don't know whether you guys are in, but I'm in it. And probably putting out the importance. Yeah, I'll save it, mate. Yeah. I'll find a way. But this recommends this enlightens, what's the word? This reaffirms the importance for me of having a stop loss that gives our trade a little bit of room. Now, again, whatever is going to happen, if it's going to go up or down, we'll have to wait and see. Today, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. However, if we'd been tight with it, and remember the trade was placed on the 30-minute, so 30-minute chart, and it was pretty nice, I have to say. Good context here, cut with handle, could call that an AB shallow C. Push on and level, steady state retest, and then we had our catalyst, our outside bullish engulfing candle, coming on increased volume, old resistance, potentially becoming new support for continuation to the upside. So context was good. Again, if you want to take a screenshot of this, then go to your pound Swiss. This is nice. If I go back here, it's probably easier to see. You can see that steady state retest. Within that steady state, we're getting lowering volume. Then an uptick in volume, 20 period caught up above this 200. It was counter trend. I mean, it still is counter trend, so there's risks involved with that. But I think there was enough there to take that trade. And initially, if we had been too tight with it, like I used to be, so I used to have my stop here. Obviously, you'd expect a lower win rate. It still works. But for me, I prefer winning more trades, although that's not as been the case in the last little while. But, I mean, it's a hard market right now. But if we had done that, I would have been stopped out here. Okay, but we seem to be pushing on a little bit more. If we can get a break above these highs, this would be really good. I was just a little bit worried about a potential loss of momentum here. You know, I'm still am. I'm not saying it's out the woods at all, but we'd like some bullish pressure on London Open for this to move to the upside and certainly a break above the highs. So it's okay. I don't mind it, but I would like to see some proper bullish pressure because I'm worried about if we break underneath this and we move quite sharply to the downside. But decent bar here, bit of volume coming in as London does start to open up. And if we can push it on, with the markets being relatively okay, this may be potentially a good trade. You know, we're getting some bullish pressure here on the daily. There's still, obviously, it's still counter trend. If we fib it from this latest impulse from here to here, we're approaching, we've tagged that 50. We had that reaction off that 50 within this bar. If I zoom in so you guys can see a wee bit better. Again, with counter trend trades, there's going to be resistance in your way. I don't take them often, but you know, you're riding your bike against the wind. We don't always like to do it, but there's trades there that are certainly worth taking because of the potential risk reward to the upside. So obviously, if we end up breaking through here, breaking through the 61 and a potential change of trend on this pound Swiss, it could end up ultimately being a very good trade. But again, counter trend. So we have to be aware of the risks involved with that. Approaching that 200 as well, we probably get a reaction there. But yeah, I would like to see some bullish momentum just to stop a potential break of structure, trend line, although I'm not massively a fan of trend lines, here, and it moves to the downside. So let's see what happens on London, and whatever will be, will be. You know, there is also the option here of moving our stop up, right, to underneath there to reduce the risk. But at the moment, I'm kind of happy with where it is. I don't want to squeeze it too much right now, but I could do that. But let's see. Morning, Audrey. Morning, Audrey. This was yours, right, Nick? Let me have a look at it. I think you took profits on it, right? This is the, looks like the hourly, or half an hour, is it? Yeah, half an hour. Off here. Yeah, so this is the only thing I'm worried about, Nick, is a break basically underneath. That's why I'm wanting to see some real bullish pressure here to take this away, if you see what I mean. But, you know, if we continue within that channel, maybe get up towards here and just see how price reacts. If we get a push in the index, I would expect to see this push on. But, yeah, obviously that's my worry. But we've done an analysis. Anything we do now is you know, I say anything we do now is psychologically driven. However, you know, we are in a market. I haven't back tested through war. I'm not really sure. You know, I still think at the moment maybe we do have to be a bit smart with what we're doing in terms of, you know, market is volatile. Market is kind of moving from headline to headline. It does seem a little bit better, but capital protection is kind of the name of the game, I think, right now. Because, you know, flowing markets will happen. Remember, we've always got one eye on December. So protecting the capital by moving the stop up, you know, it may be a good call. But let's see how London opens. Okay, indexes. 500 had a decent push yesterday. Good bar here on the daily. Approaching this resistance zone, which we are getting a reaction from off this 4 hour. Nothing's massively worrying me just yet. It's not worrying me just yet. It looks to be a pullback from this push. Looking for some bullish momentum. Remember, indexes don't move exactly like currency pairs. But so just looking for some kind of momentum to the upside to continue that push. If we look at the weekly, I mean, we could be looking nice. You know, my gut feeling was that ABC. I did think maybe it's not going to come through. Maybe it still will be that ABC complete and we continue to the upside. But again, I'm not really wanting to put a prediction on it. What I'll say right now is, you know, in terms of this recent price action, this is what I'll go with my bias right now, is we're in pullback, look for a reason, and continuation in that recent pullback in the markets. This area for me is key. If we break through here, it would be nice. We still have some resistance because we have been on a downtrend, obviously, riding against the wind. But stocks look okay. The hourly looks okay. Back to that 20. Are we going to get some bullish pressure on London Open? Let's wait and see. But here, pullback. Is it enough yet? Maybe not. But let's see. But it doesn't look too bad. Zedola. Oh, 1 second. I think price will stay there until the 1 hour 200 SMA goes under. You're talking G Swiss silver, right? Yeah. Yeah, could be. Broken through here. Yeah, that's my only worry. I just want some, if we do get some proper bullish momentum here, it changes the kind of outlook of this pair significantly, I think, in my personal mind, because it goes out with, well, this looks like potential. A lot of people will be looking for a break here to sell into it, right? But if we do get some proper bullish momentum, it changes that outlook. So, yeah, let's see. Inshallah, as they say in UAE. Inshallah. Dollar. Now dollar. Dollar's coming down. And not very nicely. Not very nicely at all. This isn't very nice for a pullback. What do we think about the dollar? I mean, I've got to be looking short now. I know we're on an uptrend, but this price action here isn't very nice. The stock's pushing to the upside. We've seen dollar acting as that safe haven. US banning oil. Yep. It's just in terms of the technicals for me. I mean, we're getting stronger as we come down, right? I did say it looked a little bit climactic, but I didn't want to go against that trend until we saw a reason. These hanging mans were there, and this daily is certainly bearish. So what do I think about the dollar? I think in terms of today, dollar does look short. Dollar looks short. So that would be my personal bias, possibly down to this area. But in terms of pullbacks, this is not what you want to see. So yeah, maybe dollar shorts today. And until that changes, we'll have to go with that. But it certainly is impulsive and not very nice to the downside. Albeit it's still counter trend, but I like it to the downside. Okay, not much on the watch list today before I go through my your guys' pairs. CAD Swiss was one. CAD's the only one that's potentially sitting up here. I don't know if I'm going to trade it, but let's see. It's there for it's there on the watch list anyway. We've got our head and shoulders here, still setting up. Head and shoulders, pushing on, potentially head and shoulders within a head and shoulders. If we get this type of price action here, breakout, retest, movement to the upside would be okay. Outside bullish engulfer on the daily, it is counter trend. I've indicated that in my watch list. We are potentially above the 20 now, but it certainly is a counter trend trade if you do get it. The confluence is there with that outside bullish engulfer. The 4-hour breakout to the downside is still on in terms of this 4-hour V reversal pullback. So that is still on. We still have a 200 above. It's probably the best of a bad bunch for me, but context is there, so maybe something to look at. CAD Swiss potential to the upside. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's very nice because it ain't very nice. It ain't very nice. And the other one was USD yen. So USD yen and CAD Swiss, that's it. Although I do feel, I don't know whether you guys are the same doing your scan this morning. I do feel the markets are a little bit better. I kind of have that gut feeling they are a little bit better. So USD yen on the daily, we've completed our context. Not enough for a breakout, but we have completed it. We did want to push yesterday and tag that zone, which we have got. So now we're looking for some form of a 20-period catch-up, whether that be in the form of accumulation, whether that be in the form of a slight reload for a breakout to the upside. If it does push a breakout retest, movement to the upside would make sense. We're kind of playing two weak currencies here. However, the context does make sense, going with that overall trend as well. Yen is coming off on account of that. A bit more risk on. I'm not going to say risk on, but a bit more risk on-ish sentiment. So something like this would be ideal for USD yen to the upside on that daily chart. And that, my friend, it looks like Pound Swiss is moving. And that is all she wrote today. Pound Swiss a little bit moving there. Good. So as I said, if this does push on, yeah, it could be good. I think, this is the funny thing about these FTMO challenges, right? Is they heighten your emotions. So Litecoin yesterday, I don't know what's happening around now, but Litecoin yesterday, whoa, what happened there? Look at that. I think I took Litecoin out somewhere around here, just when it started moving to the downside. But, I was looking at that and yeah, normal trading, you don't have as high emotions as you do with these FTMO, purely because you're on a time limit, right? And you've got markets getting better for me last 3 days, plus 5%. Excellent. Well done, Silver. You've just started your new 50K, right, as well? You got 5% on your 50K? Ah, damn it. But good. You start to feel more in a groove, right? But yeah, it was just I was looking at this thinking this looks pretty bullish. I don't really understand why. Pound Swiss wasn't looking great, and I thought, shit, I've only got this amount. I don't have a free repeat. I didn't want to. I thought I'll cut it out at 1% rather than 2. And yeah, these they're difficult, man. Emotions with it. Emotions with these challenges are difficult. And as soon as you get that buffer, as soon as you get that 10% buffer after you hopefully get it, then it just calms down and everything's stress-free. Okay, what are you guys looking at? Let's have a look. But I'm still okay. If I win, Pound Swiss, if this ends up being a good trade, because our risk reward is decent, I could pass this on this one trade. So I don't really want to go forcing anything right now when I've got a decent looking potential trade on the go. that could get me 2-3 R. You know, why would I try and risk something or force something and get a negative R? It just puts that pressure on you. So, you know, pound Swiss, I'm absolutely happy having on and seeing what happens with that. Okay, I think I had Martin, yeah, back to work for me. Can you guys take a look at Aussie dollar and USD JPY long? So I've basically done USD JPY long, Martin. I'll look at it on smaller time frames, as that's what I expect you're looking at. If anybody has anything else they want me to look at, put it in the chat and I will. USD JPY, I presume you're still in this, right? And maybe getting a wee bit worried about what's happened here. Now, just remember where we are, right? So from a daily perspective, again, I always talk about the same thing, but you're kind of expecting a reaction around this area. So if you're holding USD JPY long, which I know you kind of are, I don't know what your stop loss is or your risk reward, but if you've taken money off the table, then, you know, waiting for swings. Stop under here, wait for the swing, and just continue with it. Continue with it. The only worry is, because of the extent we've moved on this 4 hour, right? Do we need a pullback from here? You know, there is a case for that, and I would be kind of worried about that, to be honest with you. But you've got support here. So potentially something like that, or a complex corrective, 20 catch up. Is that still enough? 40, 60 box. It could take it deeper. It could come deeper from that pullback. So that's my only worry about USD JPY from a shorter term perspective, with that dollar weakness as well. So yeah, but for me, if you've closed some, you should have a risk-free trade at this point in time, and just let it do what it needs to do. You know, if that's part of your plan, trailing swings or something. I don't know what your trade management plan is, but I would certainly have something off the table. And Aussie dollar. Let's have a look at Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. I can see where you're looking at here. One thing I'll say, Aussie dollar long is in a decent position. I think, actually, silver, didn't you ask about Aussie dollar? Oh, Aussie CAD, okay, Aussie CAD. You know, if we're considering this, I mean, it's not a very nice ABC. I probably wouldn't call it an ABC, but it's certainly your downtrending anchor. You've actually got this on the 4 hour, which is okay. Daily, I don't like as much, but we could say, well, it's retested this area. We've got our outside bullish engulfer here. These candles are obviously significant, something to potentially worry about if we turn into that complex. That would be my worry about if we create B wave here on the daily, creating that complex corrective back to that support zone, or old resistance becoming new support. But if you get a decent breakout here with that dollar weakness, it might not look too bad. It might not look too bad. 4 hour. 4 hour is, I mean, if you get a breaking close above here, like I said, it might not look too bad. I just worry about creating that B wave on the daily. But yeah, I see your bias. I see your bias. Aussie CAD to the upside. Aussie dollar to the upside, sorry. Aussie CAD. Let's have a look at Aussie CAD. Didn't see that silver actually, Aussie CAD. Maybe you're onto something here. What time frame is it? 1 hour. Aussie CAD 1 hour. From here. I don't particularly like this. How we've, I don't mind wicks to the upside. I don't like closes, but it doesn't mean it's not relevant. It doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean it's not still valid. Daily, I would be just a little bit. Again, I would just be a little bit worried about this climactic, but we're not falling off the edge of a cliff right now. But do I think this is a good position to go long? I'm not massively sure. I'm not massively sure if this is a great position to go long, but does it make sense right now with oil coming off a little bit? Potentially, yeah. I just worry about that slight climactic on the daily. Silver, that would be my only worry about Aussie CAD. 4 hour looks okay, to be fair. 4 hour does look okay. Good position to break from. My only worry would be that daily, and we got a slight. I mean, I don't think this makes it not valid because it's in a good position. So if you get something here, breakout and retest, yeah, it would still make sense. So daily is the only issue for me in Aussie CAD. Yeah, it's certainly not a perfect market at all. Certainly not a perfect market at all. Yeah, I agree. It's the boring part of it because you're thinking we know this is extended, even though we're getting a setup, right? We know this is a little bit extended. If we got it down here, then great. But with these last 3 days have made it a little bit climactic. I mean, we look at gold. Let's have a look at gold. Look at gold. Kind of similar, right? I mean, a bit more exaggerated than Aussie CAD, but you know, this is what you worry about if you're going long and you get caught in that snapback from that climactic. But this is like an immediate snapback. Aussie CAD has had a slight bit of correction through time. It just whether it might continue to correct through time and wait for roughly around that 20 catch up, maybe even less on the daily. But from a price action point of view and from using it from our eyes, it just doesn't seem enough yet, right? It just doesn't seem enough. So it's not a very nice market. Not a very nice market at all. For our kind of style anyway, silver. I think that's the best way to explain it. What else? So Aussie CAD I've done. Okay, Nick. AU, EU, GU, NU, short-term bullishness. You're in this already. What's this one? Is this AU? AU, well, there you go. Close to hitting TP. Close to hitting TP. Close to hitting TP. Close to hitting TP. I don't need to say anything then, Nick. Well done, mate. Well done. That is a lovely morning of trading for you. Very tight stop loss. I mean, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5R here. 5R, 4R, 3R. What are you risking per trade? What's your risk? Because obviously you trade a little bit more, so I presume you're risking a bit less than me, right? There's another. This is pound Swiss. So you've re-entered pound Swiss. This is pound Swiss, right? No, it's not. I thought it was because it looked very similar there. Well done, mate. TPs all day. Re-entered it in general. Oh, it is pound Swiss. Great, well done. I can't say anything about that. If you're hitting TPs, what does it matter what I say? What does it matter? Oh, 3%. Shit. That is, you're a very risk tolerant person. How many trades are you taking per day? All right, okay. I get you. How many trades are you taking per day, roughly? 4. 4, so 3, 6, 12% risk. Oof. And your win rate? What's your rough win rate? You winning more than 50%? Yeah. I presume your risk reward is very good, right? Or your average payoff ratio is what? Maybe 2R, 3R? Something like that? Well, if you can, I couldn't handle that, Nick, personally. But if you can handle that, perfect. Great. Minimum 1 to 3. Good. Hey, the data stacks up, right? The data stacks up. That's all that matters, is the data stacks up. Sometimes it happens to be 2.6, but on average, so for me, my payoff ratio is maybe like 1.2 to 1.3. My win rate is 60 to 65. Average drawdown 6%. That's the kind of rough numbers for my personal strategy. Like yesterday on pound Swiss. Yeah, okay, I get you. What's pound Swiss doing? Yeah, a nice push in pound Swiss today, and I'll be a happy man, depending on what happens here. Break it up above this level would be nice. What day? We're 4 minutes from official London Open. But hey, whatever happened will happen. So, right, guys. Hey, morning, John. You're coming at the end. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're good. I'm doing my office. Completely redoing my office. You can see there's nothing in here. I've got Sydney here next to me. She's got a poorly leg, unfortunately. Need to take her to the vet. but I'll be doing that. I'm not doing it this afternoon because I'm playing golf. But if I open a trade and move the stop loss to break even, technically, yeah, of course, yeah. So usually open risk is around 6%. Okay, I get you. Good. Well, good morning. Good morning for you. Morning, John, and see you later, John. I'm just finished. Anything else you guys want me to look at? Any questions you have before I'm off? Before I'm off, let me know now. Nada. All right, guys. Have a lovely day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Remember, 50K FTMO. I keep forgetting. It's like a continuous thing. If you want to be entered in this month, remember to send me your entries in. We'll do it next NFP. Before I forget, the website, we still are doing upgrades to the back end. I don't think it's working just yet. Things were changing. Not changes that you'll notice, but changes just from a admin and back end point of view. So once that's up and running, we can't accept any membership payments at the moment, but I'll let you know when they do. So you can do that and give me some money. Right, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Trade safe. Peace.